Hello, I hope everyone is doing well today. I'm coming back to you today to first reveal the scores of my practice test as well as to share with you some skills for the math section or the quantitative section of the GRE using music. As you can see, I took my practice test with captest.com and my scores came out 148 for the quantitative section and 160 for the verbal section. Now, as I said in my previous video, my goal was to get a 162 in the verbal section and a 165 on the quantitative section, and as of right now, I'm quite far off in the quantitative section, so I have a lot of practice to do in that section. I'm pretty disappointed with my quantitative score more than I am with my verbal score, particularly because the quantitative score is in the 32nd percentile, and that's really low. A part of me is heavily questioning if I can bring my quantitative score up from the 32nd percentile to the 90th percentile by test day. That remains to be seen. While the 148 score on the quantitative section is disappointing, I know I can't let that get me down or stop my progress while studying for the GRE exam. So I'm just going to keep my spirits raised up. One thing I know for certain is that I need to put forth a lot more effort and practice so that I can get closer to my 165 goal score on the quantitative section of the GRE. I found that one of my issues was the time equals distance over speed type of equation, just because whenever I attempted that type of question on the practice test, I completely blanked on the formula. Another area where I experienced difficulty was the sum of terms equals average times number of terms type of problems. So the equations I'm accustomed to seeing are sum of terms divided by number of terms. But the GRE does have questions that ask you to find either the sum of terms or the number of terms, which takes some rearranging of that original equation. Oh yes, and I haven't forgot about probability type of problems. Those have always been tricky for me. And when I took the practice test this time around, I did have some issue there just because I wasn't exactly certain of which number I need to place over what other number to get a final answer. And I definitely cannot forget combinations. Now I need to invent a few math problems to work out. Okay, so this question is dealing with probability. You have a fair six-sided die that you roll twice. Which quantity is greater? And quantity A says the probability that you roll a 2 or 4. And I'm still trying to figure out quantity B. Also, while I'm looking to improve my score, I very much hope to have some fun. So my next demonstration will be to Paramore's song, Ain't It Fun?